When we last left off, the party had managed to narrowly escape a witch hunt, for lack of a better term, from the town that they just left. And now they are almost at the city that the governor resides in. And let's hope that this last event did not impair their chances too much. Uh, Along the escape, the party also met creature that they have decided to call friend. And the party exits the cave where they spent the previous night, ready to head on the road. What do you guys want to do?
Griffin is outside with his Pokemon, just make sure he has everything ready to set off and checking, make sure that there's nothing coming up the road.
Okay. Do you want to roll a perception check for that?
15.
Okay. Yeah, you notice that you're pretty sure that there haven't been any tracks in this area, but you are off of any known trail, so you don't exactly know where you are.
I mean, if we're all ready to go, I think we can start making our way into Striaton City.
Let's do it.
What check do you think would be best for trying to find your way to the city?
I think that would be survival.
I would say survival, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Anyone can roll it if they want. Griffin will have advantage because he knows this area better.
All right. Well, I got a 17, 14 plus 3.
With advantage, Griffin rolled a nat 20.
So, Griffin,
Nice.
you know that you've actually been in this area. You've made camp here before, and you know that there's a shortcut that'll save you a considerable amount of time in getting to Striaton.
Awesome. I'll relay that to the party.
Okay.
Okay. Only question I do have about that, is it a safe shortcut? Because the last thing we want is to go somewhere dangerous.
Roll a history check. We'll see if you remember or not, if it's safe.
19 plus 1, 20.
Yeah, you remember it being perfectly safe. You don't remember why it was safe, you just remember that it was perfectly safe.
You can never be too careful when you're traveling in the wilderness.
Agree. Speaking from experience.
Indeed. Especially in areas that you're unfamiliar with.
While you're on your way, I'm gonna offer you guys something new. You can either A, do the normal route thing of like looking for Pokemon, or you can train with your Pokemon.
In which case, I will have my Burmy do push-ups.
Okay, explain how.
Not literally, but just we are going to train. I'm going to let it work on its anger because this Burmy clearly has a temper.
So the way this is gonna go is kind of similar to how Ezio trained last night. What do you want Burmy to improve on?
Oh, let's say offensive output. Let's go attack power.
Like strength or damage die numbers. You can improve stats or a move, basically.
Oh, let's go improving strength.
Okay, how do you intend to do that?
I'm gonna have him push like tiny piles of branches that are like gradually get bigger and bigger.
Roll me a Poke handling check to see how well this goes over.
And that's 17.
Burmy isn't exactly capable of pushing stuff very well, but they're using momentum creatively, so they're just going around you and just striking like piles of leaves, and it's getting better and better, so add a +1 to Burmy's strength.
This is the way.
You want to train Falchion as well?
Falchion? I actually kind of want to see if I can teach it a different move. I'm looking for something fairy-based, because I actually don't have that yet.
Technically, you do with Pixelate.
Oh, that's true. That's true with Tackle.
Yeah, well, you do. We'll come back to Falcon later. But does anyone else want to train their Pokemon?
Yeah. I actually want to see if I can try and I guess I don't know if upgrade would be the right word, but I want to see if I can have with quicksand have sand attack. See if we can train that into a damaging move,
Like mud slap.
I don't know what sand I can learn. Like mud slap.
Do you have an idea of how to do that?
I guess try to work on having Sandile bring up more sand, work with some area that's wet or something, and try to work that up. Work with more, try to heave up more ground, and maybe some wetter ground as well.
Roll a Poké handling check to see how well that goes.
That's going to be a 16.
It looks like quicksand might be getting it. You notice that the sand particles are sticking more together, but it might take a few more attempts. Do you want to train Dandelion too?
But with Dandelion, I was thinking maybe for some strength improvements.
Okay, do you have an idea how you want to do that?
Yeah, that's pretty well. I think it's pretty easy to figure out how Dandelion would do that. I imagine using his vines, he could work on picking up some boulder, well, not boulders, but rocks and tree branches and other natural debris with on the road and stuff. Just working on picking up some heavier objects and such.
That could work. Roll me a Poké handling check to see how that works, and then a strength check for Dandelion.
For the Poké handling, that's going to be a 14. That's going to be a 16 on the strength.
Dandelion doesn't look super enthused to be doing this, but Dandelion does end up getting 1 point of strength, but it doesn't look super thrilled doing this, but it does see the work, so... anyone else want to go next? Just because everyone else decides to train doesn't mean you can't decide to go look for Pokemon, so feel free to do whatever you feel like.
I want to train Art, and I want him to, I guess, just hit harder with his log. So the move I had in mind was Brutal Swing. So I want him to just grip his log as hard as he could and just swing it as hard and as fast, spinning with it and to hit. Because I want to make I want to get Pound stronger.
Roll a Poké handling check and then roll your damage for Pound.
All right, so my Poké handling was a 16, and for damage per pound was a 5.
Pound now deals... I said it deals a D6, I believe?
Yeah.
Pound now deals a D8 of damage. Any of your other Pokemon want to train?
Yeah, I'm going to train Follow. I wanted him to work on his Ember some more, and either... I don't know. I guess get a flamethrower if possible, or something. It's a better fire move, basically. Make it stronger.
I think it's a bit early for flamethrower, but I'll let you try. Roll Poké handling.
I had 18. I was close.
Okay, so instead of a ranged firing move, what you're kind of trying to teach Fallow, Fallow instead snorts out a bunch of fire and just kind of runs through it and slams into a tree. Fallow can now attempt to use Flame Charge at a opponent. It'll take a concentration check to see if they can do it, though. Wesley, do you want to go, or do you mind if I return to Arcitras for Falcon?
You can return to Arcitras.
Damn. Alright. We're teaching my sword how to slash, which is really weird that it doesn't know how to do that, but that's the plan.
I mean, rapiers aren't designed for slashing.
This is true.
Roll a Poké handling check.
Bada bing, bada boom. 21.
What was the number on the dice?
17.
So, Hone Edge just kind of stabs into it, but it should do more damage than pound, but it's not a guarantee yet because Falcon's main thing is just to hit things with the guard that it has
Donk.
at the moment.
Right.
So it'll take a bit of training to correct it to actually use itself like a sword. So concentration checks again if you want to attempt slash. Or stab in this case.
Alright, would that just be now, or does that just be like any time in combat?
Anytime in combat, and if you do well enough, you'll eventually get it as a full move. Wesley, you and Weevil, do you want to look around for stuff, or do you want to train?
I'll probably look around for a new Pokemon.
Perfect. Roll me a d20.
It will be an 11.
You guys are resting at a stream after getting some water to put out the fire that Fallow started with his flame charge. And Wesley, could you give me a perception check real quick?
16.
But Wesley, you see what looks like dead seaweed floating on the river. But unlike normal seaweed, it looks like it's trying to make a beeline for your hand.
Oh.
For my hands.
Ooh, I think I know what that might be.
I think I might know too.
Are you going to let it get to your hand, or are you going to do anything?
Yes, I'm going to let it get to my hand.
Okay, roll me a constitution check as it makes contact.
21.
Oh yeah, no, you've dealt with enough poison, you're fine. But you can just feel this thing attach itself to you, and you have a brown and purple little creature just staring at you while it attempts to pump you full of poison.
It's like uselessly dangling at the end of my like leather gloves.
Yeah.
What
Right?
the hell does he have? Is it weird that I don't know what this Pokemon is?
I think it's a Skrelp.
Yeah, it's a Skrelp, I'm
Oh.
pretty sure.
Hey, yo, a Skrelp. That's dope.
Yeah.
Wesley's gonna like he's not gonna like raise his hand like quickly out of the water or anything, but he's gonna like turn it so you can get a better look at this creature, and he's gonna motion over for like somebody's like over here. Well, look at this, and he like points with his other hand towards this creature.
Bless my Dickens, he's got a Skrelp. I walk over.
It looks a little bit scared now that everyone's looking at it, and it just keeps trying to pump poison into you, and it looks concerned that it's not working.
Hey, bud, it's gonna be okay. Believe it or not, you're actually on a very good. You're in good hand. You're on good hand.
Thank you, Arcitarius. Quick, can someone reach into my bag and find my flask? I think.
Oh, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the Skrelp. You? I don't know what the hell you did.
You said he was on a good hand.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, your hand. He's safe. He's safe. I don't know about you.
Well, could you grab me the flask from in my backpack? It shouldn't be hard to miss. Big glass cylinder.
Yeah, I go through his backpack. Do I find it, or am I gonna have to like look for that?
That depends on Wesley. How deep in your bag is it? And is it in Weavile?
It is not in Weevil, but my bag is a mess of like pungent herbs, other like vials full of stuff you probably wouldn't want to get on you. Like it's a very dangerous, haphazard alchemical knapsack.
Oh, cool. So it's like walking to the perfume section of a shopping mall.
Essentially, yes.
With that information, I guess roll a investigations.
That's an 11.
You accidentally stab your hand on something in the bag, but you manage to pull out the water container.
Watch out for my prize scalpel collection.
Your fucking what?
It's all my favorite scalpels. You never know when you need to use a very small, precise knife in order to cut open a wound or perform some sort of procedure.
I hope you understand you're talking to someone who walks around with a flying sword.
Well, see, yes, those are your tools and your weapons, and these are mine. As like he points towards the stabbed hand of Arcitarius before grabbing the flask.
Hey, Falchion is not a tool or a weapon. He is a friend. Now, these things on my arms called hands, those are both tools and weapons. Which one is which? Find out later.
Oh yeah, Arcitarius, you take 1 point of damage when you get stabbed in the hands.
I take a point of damage for that. God damn it.
I make sure they're very sharp. So I'm going to use the water flask to kind of like scoop up the algae creature and like make sure there's enough water in there and like stuff, and then bring him out, like bring it out of the water to examine him.
Okay, roll me a poke handling check.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Second, it's in water. The creature, none of you have in character identified it yet. Just seems a lot more relaxed, and it just kind of dives down as deep as it will go. But you can see it because it is very small.
I heard of one of these before being in this part of the region. Usually, could I make an intelligence check to like know if I know folklore about this sort of creature, or just anything about it?
I'll say yes, and I'll say you have advantage based on where you're from in the region.
16.
You've heard a few of these things. You've more so heard of their evolution, which straight up sinks ships.
If I remember correctly, this little guy grows up to be quite a menacing creature. It's responsible for sinking many cargo ships off the coast.
What's a cargo ship?
It brings boxes full of goods from faraway lands here to Unova.
Sounds like a prime target for robbery.
It is, sadly. But it is also a prime target for these big lads. I hear sailors call them Dragalgi. But this little guy, he's abnormally small for... Actually, smaller than I thought he would be for growing into such a mighty creature. I guess he'll be staying with me for a while. I'm gonna put like a... this thing still needs to get air, so I imagine it's like a very, like the cork is very, has a lot of perforations in it, so like enough air gets into the bottle, so we don't suffocate this poor thing. And he's gonna very carefully place it into his bag. Or, like, not into the bag, but I assume I have, like satchels and like places to hook on containers to the outside of the bag. So like I'll try to find a way where it can be safely fastened onto my bag.
Yeah, no, you should know how to do that. It's just like keeping your water thing outside of the bag. You know how to do that.
Anyways, I think that concludes. I'll have to analyze him a bit later, see if he's. From what I saw, he didn't seem to be in any ill health, but I hear their poison might be able to concoct something. But I believe that concludes our rest here. Are you all ready to go? As Wesley like stands up and is like motioning to go, leaving our resting stop by the lake.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go as well.
Roughly an hour of walking later, and you can see the gates of Striaton, and it is so much bigger than Griffin you've ever seen another town. The rest of you are towns, so you've seen some. You can't exactly tell how big it is in comparison to your own towns of choice of origin. Do you guys just want to approach the town?
First, let's get some rules here first. I don't think we can afford causing another commotion. So, I turn to Soul. Don't do any of your magic here, just with how they reacted back in Accumula town. I don't want to be chased out again. And yes, and Arcitarius, keep that sword in check.
No worries. It's not the sword you need to be worried about with me.
Oh, that's what I'm worried about. I'll try to make sure Wyvil isn't too pungent on our way through, but they hopefully won't notice him.
When you say that, Soul says, yeah. I'm gonna go and see if I can find at least some decent components. I do not want to be in the presence of a governor. I still think that it's gonna go poorly, but I'll meet up with you guys after the meeting if everything goes well.
I'm fine with that.
That works.
Okay, with that, Soul splits off to your party, and it looks like they're going to more of a, maybe some would call it seedier area to look for ingredients for their stuff. Griffin, could you roll me another history check? Let's see if you know how to get a meeting with the governor of this place.
19.
You know that the governor is traditionally pretty open, scheduled, the benefits of not being in active conflict with anybody. So you just know you have to talk to one of the guards and make an appointment with them.
All right, so I'll just find the closest guard that doesn't look like they're gonna, and I guess, interrogate us for the most part and ask to make that arrangement.
Could you roll me a investigation just to see if you can do that?
That is a 10.
You find a guard who looks very tired. How do you go about asking for an audience with the governor?
I would walk up to them and present myself as Griffin from my small town, and let him know that I am looking for the governor so we can join factions together or join cities together.
The guard nods. It looks like you woke them up, maybe, and they're like, yeah, okay. And they just take you over to it's a larger building than the rest of the city, but the four of you are ushered into a waiting room. There's maybe 2 guards at the far wall away from you, and you just have to wait a little bit. You guys are waiting for roughly 40 minutes, and then you guys are told the door at the far side end of the wall opens, and the guards just point and say, it's a straight shot down this corridor. The governor will meet with you there. But yeah, as you guys walk, you start to hear what sounds like a rhythmic beating, followed by a sharp strum of some instrument that you've never heard before.
Hey, yo.
The music builds up in intensity as you guys come to the door, and then it opens, and you see a man in a purple robe of some kind with dreadlocks, and he is playing a particular instrument that a loudred seems to be chewing on a cable that's connected to it. And there's a chatot who's providing all of the other noise that isn't coming from this guitar.
Yeah, Griffin's going to run up to the man because he's all about music. He's like, "What is that? Where can I get one? And how do I play it?"
What is any of this? What contraption do we have here?
He puts down the thing and just kind of lays it across him, and he's like, "This is an amplified guitar." So, I hear one of you is Griffin from Accumula, and you've requested a meeting. What's up?
On the day of the festival, we were attacked by 3 unknown men, and they were swooped away by some mysterious Pokémon. So we are asking to join under your city for protection.
He picks up the thing, and the loudred just switches the way that it was chewing onto the other side of its mouth, and he just kind of strums it a little bit, and he asks, "Okay, that sounds good, but what advantages can bringing Accumula in provide?" Lest I remember, I brought this up a few years ago, I think it was, and your the people in charge of your village did not seem interested in the idea then. So, what can you guys provide to help us?
We are a port town, so we have good bays, good area to bring in cargo supplies for ships, and we are a smaller town, but we are out of the way, so we're not on the main road for people to come and like harass us.
But it just happened that you guys were harassed, correct?
Which is why we need the protection.
Yeah, and it would be slightly costly to have my men create, first off, an official road to Accumula, and then to staff it. Could your town help enough with taxes that it would be worth it?
Yes, with the festival, we bring in a lot of money every year, which would be able to supply funds for the road.
Could you roll me a persuasion check just to see how well you're selling this idea to this guy?
That is 18.
He looks interested in the idea, but then he asks, do you have any plans to bring people to this town outside of the festival? Like, how would we spread the word that we have a new port?
Well, I can definitely travel around, and I bring out my instrument and start playing. And it's like I can go around and spread the news to every town that I go through.
The governor looks a little bit interested in that, and he says, that's a decent instrument you got there, but word of mouth isn't particularly good, depending on when you alone could only travel and spread said word of mouth. You can roll me another person. Anyone else can jump in and say things if they want, if they think it could help their case. But right now, Griffin, roll me another persuasion check to see if you can talk him out of this idea. And what?
20.
Oh, natural or?
Not natural. 14 on dice.
Okay. Make your case then. Let's see what you go with 20.
I will let them know that that we'll send out, what was it, carrier Pokemon or like bird Pokemon to like basically send to every town across, all of Unova, and let them know. Well, all the towns that he, I guess, controls. To let them know about the port.
He looks interested in this idea, and he says, "Oh, I did not know that Accumula has a swath of carrier P-Doves." Finally, and what I would consider most importantly, what guarantee do I have that you would follow the laws set by me and those who have come before me? Because I received a very interesting message earlier today that said a bar in the next town over that I control was burnt down, and the perpetrators, and he unfolds a scroll that was sitting behind him, and it has rough sketches of each of you. Wesley, your goggles and mask are pulled up, so they didn't really get a great look at your face, but the rest of you are kind of sketched kind of imposingly, and your Pokemon are beside you.
Well.
Well, we're only looking for peace. That's why we want to join and stay peaceful, as we do for our festivals. But that's a very nice picture of someone who I don't know, of none of us, or our Pokemon.
Everyone else's Pokemon are still with them, so you can roll it, but you have disadvantage because you didn't tell any of your Pokemon to hide, except for maybe Weevil.
18. My low was 13 plus 5 for deception.
The governor looks at the sketches and then back to you, and then says, it's true that you don't match exactly, But I'm still not willing to work that risk because unless I have some other travelers come by who would have assumedly taken the same route as you from Accumula to Striaton. So until I get that reassurance that this act of aggression was not you, I'm afraid I'll have to not go through with your idea. Because unfortunately, you act as a signature for the whole town that you're from, and so long as there is even a shred of doubt that you did this, I can't guarantee that everyone else in your town would be willing to uphold the law. You understand? Although there is another way things could go if you admit it was you who did this.
What way would that be?
Asking the real question.
Does that mean you admit that it was you? Or are you just talking in hypotheticals?
Kinda sounds like we're being threatened.
Hypotheticals at the moment.
Hypothetically, if it was you and you did own up to this, I, as governor, could expose my right to challenge you to an official Pokemon duel. The stakes would be a pardon for your act of aggression, and if you win, and if you lose, I decide your fate, as is custom with all official Pokemon battles. But I'll be generous and say that Accumula Town will be added to my territory, regardless of what you answer in this battle. Those are your options. And of course, if it is found out that another group did this act, then you all would be found innocent, and would be added with all doubts removed. I can let you have a minute to think about it if you want.
I have an idea, but I don't know how to say it in character without sounding sus.
What is it?
Friend.
Friend what?
Oh shit,
Oh.
Could friend make an illusion?
Hold on. Hold on to that thought. I'm gonna see if I can try my let me see if I can't smooth this over. I'm gonna take a stab at this. Because there's actually one angle that I don't think anybody here has considered.
Okay.
Okay. So is this guy like sitting behind a table? Is he like sitting at a chair? Well, like how is he positioned?
He's on a couch, and he's just spread very comfortably, and he's just got his guitar across his lap, and he's idly strumming it while you guys are discussing things.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at Griffin. I go, you got anything else you want to say? Because I have an idea. I'm not sure if it's a great one, but it's one I think could get somewhere.
Yeah, go ahead, and if not, I mean, I'm probably just gonna confess to battle him.
It would be a battle against all of you, he says, not even looking up from his guitar. All of you against me and a Pokemon of my choice, since you all stand accused of arson. He also has a Loudred and a Chatot, like, right near him. The Chatot's, like, perched on his shoulder, and the Loudred is still kind of chewing on that thing, and just... Or it's taken the cord out of its mouth now, and it's just kind of, like, standing there.
I'm look at this guy and go, okay, so there's a couple things that we're not taking into account here. One, there was a coordinated attack in an area just south of you, for reasons that nobody knows. Someone shot a warning shot under your nose. That doesn't bother you?
Counter, Nuvema Town has refused to be included into my territory, so at the moment that is of no concern to me. It would be a concern if it was my territory, but as you have decided, as was your previously decision to remain independent, it is not my concern.
Would you be concerned if someone from Opalucid was there and had to intervene?
Not particularly. We are far enough away from that whole mess that uh, it's not a huge concern.
Even though my friend here just explained that there's a means of water-based transportation in which they can move?
Yes, but how does that have to do with Opelucid?
Guy doesn't get my drift. Here's the thing. I'm what's have to do with Opalucid.
And you are...
Oh, I'm hurt. Let me introduce myself. My name is Arciteris. I'm mostly a mercenary, but everyone knows that I operate way, way from the north. And I'm gonna be honest, this is a really bad look. It would be pretty inconvenient if word got north that there was free land under your nose and you said no to it. It would really, and I mean really, be inconvenient if somebody you don't like, that also doesn't like you, set up a base of operations right under you. I'm honestly surprised you kind of haven't taken the thing yourself, to be honest.
He kind of glares at you and says, "Is that a threat, young man?"
It's not a threat for me.
But you're saying that you would be the one to deliver this information to people who would consider it a threat. Is that correct?
Hey, look, I'm a traveling mercenary. I go wherever the money goes, right? I got no quarrel in that. Opaloosa is just where I'm from. But you know that means I've traveled a very long way to get here. I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't think there was at least some truth in it. Also, I wouldn't worry about what I'm threatening. I'd be worried about whoever pays me threaten you. Not that anyone's currently paying me. I'll prove it to you that no one's paying me right now. I'm doing this as a charity gift. You're welcome, by the way. I look at the rest of the party. But the point is that somebody could ask me to pay me. Somebody at some point could pay for this information. Pay a very, very handsome amount of money. So, my question is, what is it worth to you to not let this get out? Which, by the way, sort of the implication is that you probably should take that town and look after it, just, for your own sake. Just say.
Oh, this is funny. What do you know of politics? I'd say next to nothing. But, out of character, Arcitreus, could you roll me a, let's say an intimidation or deception at disadvantage?
Okay, so I'm gonna level with you. On disadvantage, I rolled an 18.
I'd say that the guy still laughed in your face, and he then responds, again, to the politics thing. You don't know anything.
I know enough to know that somebody who's interested in territory would probably be curious and poking around.
Yes, but I have 3 counters to what you've said. 1. Any land-based movement would have to go through my territory to reach Nuvema. 2. Any by sea would have to come from across the continent, and I don't think you're willing to travel that far.
I'm not, but I know who is.
3. I have a good standing relationship with the merchants of Honolulu, so it would not come from them. And 4th, you'd be putting this town at risk if you did that. And could you live with that much blood on your hands?
Guy, it got set on fire by random nobodies. I think it's already at risk. That's kind of why we're here. But to that point, you're right. You're right about most of that. There's one thing that I think you're overlooking. So if I'm someone who doesn't claim to know anything about the politics, that implies that I wouldn't know that there are people who would go across the land and sea. And if you're saying that I don't know anything, that means that you don't think I don't know anyone who would be willing to do that. And that's where we differ.
You are of no renown down here, so yes, that is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not. This is true, which is why I have renown up north. And as someone who has some renown up north, I'm being completely honest with you, I really hope for your sake you're right. Not a big thing. Not big on bloodshed. It pays, but that's a necessary evil. All I'm saying is that it would be not only would it be a bad look, if you are telling me that you don't have any problem with leaving that town as is, somebody's going to catch wind of that. And then you might have a problem on your hands. If it were me, I would just want to make sure I didn't have anything that could pose a threat to me. So sort of leaving that geographical location that has some use to me, leaving that unprotected, gonna be honest, I don't get it.
Does anyone else have anything to say?
Yeah, Griffin will walk up and be like, "All right, let's battle. Me and you, 3-on-3."
No. I will accept it if the four of you versus me.
I said they just came along with the journey, and I was the one who stood up first.
Yes, but that does not change the fact that you all pointed weapons at my men.
Okay, so this guy clearly doesn't seem to think that he's in any positional threat.
This is true.
What happens if we bring him the people responsible for the attack on Nuvema town?
See, there's a problem with that. We don't know where they are.
Nor does he care.
Damn. I was gonna try really hard to reason with this guy. All right, the next warlord we meet is paying a very nice sum of money for a very nice piece of information. Okay, noted for future reference. Just gonna jot that down. No, but guy here. I'm sorry, Governor. I don't seem to recall your name. Could you remind me real quick?
Govenor Howard.
Howard. I personally accept your terms. I just hope it's with an understanding that if you lose, that's gonna be public information.
Oh, I planned on doing this publicly anyway.
Okay. Alright. Honesty. I respect it.
Does he speak for the rest of you?
Hey, don't let me speak for the rest of you, but I'm speaking for myself.
I'm down to battle.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think it's going to change much of anything for what it's worth. I might as well have been speaking for them, truth be told.
Wonderful. The battle will take place tomorrow. Oh, and just so you know, if you attempt to flee now that the challenge is stated, I will take that as an admission of guilt over your crime of arson.
That's fine. I think you know enough.
But my guards will be keeping an eye on you, and if you do run and get away, my guards will officially be on the hunt and be issuing bounties for you for the rest of the governors to peruse at their leisure.
And I'll say, "Oh, what if we bring the witch to you?"
What witch? The report didn't mention anything about a witch.
And I point to the poster, and I'm like, "That one can use Pokemon powers without Pokemon."
Huh, that is interesting. But I am not as old-fashioned to put someone to death for that. I'll be having to send a letter regarding that back to Accumula.
Well, we can bring them to you. Would you?
I have no interest in doing that. Plus, you've already agreed to the battle. Is there any other business to attend to, or?
Yeah, your guitar. Where can I get one?
I custom made it myself. It was not easy finding a material that vibrates in such a way that Loudred can amplify it. And with that, you guys are ushered out of the governor's. Yeah. And you guys are actually. Oh, this is up to you. Where would you guys like to spend the night before you have to battle this guy?
I do have one question, Will. Do we still have Friend? Did he follow us out of the cave?
Yes. Friend's been with you the whole time, just kind of reading your minds, kind of just what's going on.
I think we should try to warn Soul that they do have an image of them, and despite what Howard did say, I do think that some less open-minded guards might be willing to take them in. So I kind of turn to Friend. I'm like, try to project to Friend, like, can you find Soul and warn them that they have your picture, like they know who you are, and that we'll be being watched. So maybe, like, yeah, just want to send a warning to Soul and use Friend as the messenger.
How do you portray that through images?
Well, I saw the image of Soul, like the papyrus they have. So I want, like, it would be like an image of Howard holding it, and like that should be enough of a warning, being like they have your picture.
Yeah, but how do you convey that you have to take that image to Soul? You just kind of put the picture of a human that Friend doesn't know holding up a piece of paper with a picture of Soul on it. Otherwise, they have no idea what to do with that. They just know that you sent it over.
Okay, then I'm going to project a image of Soul, and like Soul in danger to Friend. So like Soul probably with like imaginary like spears pointed at them, and then I'm going to imagine this, like they say, like Soul might be in danger to Friend. Do you want me to make? I can make like an intelligence check or something to also help this along.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Just because I don't know if Arcitreus and Calypso have super well described how to communicate with Friend.
Yeah, that's going to be an 11.
It's about going as well as you think, based on that scene.
Calypso Arcitarius, could you tell our friend here that Soul might be in danger? I don't get quite the hang of this.
All right, cool. So I look at Friend, and I project the image of the drawing, and then I project yellow lights, and then I project the face of Soul.
Wouldn't red be more appropriate?
Yeah, you're right. I project red instead of yellow. Good call.
You get the four of you get a bright green just imprinted in your mind, and then a Friend teleports away.
Sweet.
How do you guys do that?
Honestly, I don't know.
I think we should find a tavern or something.
Do you want to stay at a tavern, or do you want to set up camp outside of the town?
You know, I have to admit, there's really no good answer there because we are in fact accused of a crime.
Leaving the town might provoke the guards to arrest us because we're leaving the city.
Yeah, but do you think they're going to leave us alone if we just walk into another bar?
They won't. They will be under watch. That's why I hope Soul doesn't try to find us. But Howard did say that no harm would come to us before our duel, so we just try not to raise trouble and prepare for tomorrow.
Okay, but what if he's lying?
I doubt a man of his caliber would lie to us.
I doubt a man of his power would lie to us.
I'm going to say you can do insight checks based on your conversation with him, just reflecting back on it if you want. Anyone can do that.
That is a 23.
Okay, anyone else have anything? Just based on what your characters think.
No. Wesley probably wouldn't think that he would be in danger after the governor promised nothing would happen until the duel.
Yeah, Calypso probably has the same train of thought.
All he would actually have to do is murk us, throw our bodies outside the town, say we tried to run, and then, as far as most people are concerned, that would be it.
I doubt you would let some measly guard kill us, Arcitarius. From the little I've known you, I know you wouldn't go down without a commotion.
Oh, absolutely. It'd have taken a baker's dozen.
See, and that's why I don't think he will hurt us, because he knows that will cause some sort of fight, and I don't think he wants to deal with that when he can just beat us tomorrow with... And he does seem pretty confident in his ability to beat us in a duel, even if it is 4 versus 1.
Oh yeah, I didn't say the result of that insight check earlier. Arcitarius, you are like almost positive that that guy did not say a single lie while he was talking with you.
Damn.
Not even any hiding information. Like technically true. He's being 100% straight up.
He didn't say anything I don't think we didn't already know. It's gonna look so bad on him if he loses, though.
But yeah, no, you guys find an inn that's... Well, that depends. Where in the city do you guys want to pack up for the night? Like close to the governor's manor or close to the outskirts of town?
Probably close to the governor's manor, so we don't have to walk as far in the morning. Yeah, they'll be less suspicious of us trying to escape if we camp closer.
The four of you find a decent tavern relatively close to the governor's manor, and the person at the tavern just says $3.50 for four of you.
Oh, wait a minute. Not just you, wait a minute.
I'm going to look at the tavern dude and be like, if I play you a amazing song, can you drop that down to 100?
Nope. That's the price for accused like you. News travels fast.
Hey, yo. Tough scene.
What if I just camp out in your lobby then?
You're free to do that. Some guards might come by and kick you to the streets.
Yeah, this is the price for accused like you. Alright, whatever, smartass.
Yeah, no, we're not paying it after we're leaving.
You could try and maybe...
Nah, because 3 something is high, 2 something is still high, 1 something is still. And I'm gonna go. I'm like, nah, we just go out to like the furthest place we can find, and for like 2 gold, and just be happy with it.
Yeah, who cares if the governor's suspicious? His economy shouldn't be so bad. It's his fault.
Could one of you roll me a, let's say, investigation to find another place to stay?
I rolled a 19 plus a 1, so I got another 20.
Okay, so you find an area in like the seedier side of town where you saw Soul vanish off to earlier, and the tavern keeper here is a lot older and gruffer, and it's like, oh yeah, you guys. Let's say 75 gold for the poke for the 4 of you. I respect your gumption. Oh, I should mention a friend hasn't come back, but then you get it. Then you just get a flash of green, like trying to get your attention. Could each of you roll me a perception check?
That's going to be an 18.
I got a 14.
Calypso, you can see in like the one of the back tables, friend is just sitting across from Soul, just like and flashes green in your head again.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
And then it just teleports over to you.
Soul is here. And then I point over to where friend just teleported over from.
You can see Soul trying to avoid eye contact, and then they just point upstairs.
Who points upstairs?
Soul.
Okay.
You go up to your rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wesley will move up to his room.
Each of you has a separate room, and then it's at the end of a corridor. Each of you has a desk, a bed, and a window facing the street. And a few, like half an hour later, Soul comes upstairs and is like, "What the fuck did you do?"
We negotiated really well.
Yeah, is that why you're having a duel with the governor tomorrow?
Yeah, so we will be pardoned, and they will take my town in, and everything will be good.
And I'm not a part of that, correct?
Nope, you're not. But just saying, may not just be saying you should disappear as quick as you can. Just saying, word of advice.
No point. They already know my face, so they're probably keeping tabs on me too. But did you guys have to come to the one I was staying in? Now this place is a huge hotbed.
We were going somewhere else, but they wanted to charge us double because we're challenging the freaking governor. So
More like triple. It was like 375.
yeah, it was outrageous, and yeah, we came here because it was going to be very violent if we stayed there.
Oh boy. But I can tell you some things I've heard about just what's going on. If you want some information.
Go for it.
Information is good.
Well, it seems that the governor uses an extremely loud Pokemon. Town's guards came around everywhere and were handing out ear protection.
Did you give us a pair? Get us a pair?
I could barely get one for myself, and I'm pretty sure that you guys will be given some for yourselves, but not for your Pokemon. And the second thing is that it's gonna be held at a straight up arena. Ticket sales are already going.
Hey, yo, man.
Wait.
Wait, ticket sale?
Yeah.
He did say it wasn't going to be a public event.
But normally public events are just like, hey, I'm doing something, not, oh, hey, like, paid to watch this. Like, what?
Apparently, the townspeople are kind of looking forward to it. They don't get to see many of these. Arcetarius, could you roll me a history check?
12.
Okay. You don't know a ton about how official Pokemon battles are run, but you do know that an official one is for the public to watch. You know this because Accumula City is challenged once a season by the city-states on either side of it. So Accumula has these kind of things a lot. It doesn't happen a lot down here.
Worst comes to worst, a lot of really pretty girls are going to see me go out in a blaze of glory.
I doubt we'll die. We'll just be incarcerated for hopefully not long.
Well,
but...
we need an escape. We need an escape plan if we do lose. So, like, if we lose, Wesley, your little friend could, just explode of smog, and we just dip out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think escape would be, especially in a spectated arena. I don't even know if I would feel confident using Rival's smog in that instance. As you saw before, it can be quite unwieldy, and
We would have to create chaos.
It could, but if people are watching, I really don't want them to also get sick. It wouldn't be good if even if we did escape, we're seen as the people that poisoned half the crowd. Don't worry. Rival and I, we have some plans to help out during the duel in less conventional means, as I kind of point towards some of my potions.
All right, but we have to get around the sound for our Pokemon. So either we can cut up our pillows and make ear muffins for them.
Soul pipes in at that point and says, I do not think that's going to be strong enough. The governor, the guards were straight up handing out like special wax things to put in people's ears because apparently it's that loud that even a single opening will just let the sound in.
I don't know if I can create anything that can help with deafening our Pokemon for a bit. It would, if we choose to try to deafen them in any way, that'll make it harder for us to command them on the battlefield.
That is true.
Soul pipes up again and says, I'll try some stuff to see if I can make an emergency way out if need be, but I cannot guarantee that it will go well. It is some of the most advanced stuff I can possibly do.
Well, it's always good to have a backup plan, Soul. Even if it could get us killed.
Straight up, this is a warning. I'm going to be attempting to meddle with legendary Pokemon level stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I am not confident about it either. I'll do it, though, because my neck's on the line, too. But I am making no guarantees that it will A, be ready, or C, work. So just be prepared.
You could use Friend to give us a warning. If Friend can communicate to us on the battlefield to tell us when you are ready if we do need to make the escape.
You're not having Friend battle with you?
Well, I assume that we wouldn't be able to use all of our Pokemon. Commanding our Pokemon in battle is really hard once there's more than at least two, and I don't think any of us are really familiar enough with Friend to comfortably duel beside them. Am I correct in assuming this?
Yeah, that's probably fair.
We really don't even know what he is, but he is great at communications.
With that, the party starts to head off to their own rooms. What do each of you do to prepare, and how are you feeling about this whole thing?
I think Wesley is like preparing Wyvil to be playing Battlefield Medic. He's giving Wyvil specifically 4 potions of like basic healing, and then one of the, we didn't name it Will, but the initiative boosting one. And he's like, go up, like give it to Wyvil. He's gonna be like, okay, buddy, like he's basically gonna make sure Wyvil's ready to play Battle Medic.
Make sure you write down what potions he has in him.
I will. I'll do some analysis on Skrelpy.
Oh, sure. Roll me a medicine check.
15.
Skrelpy is small, but you think that it might be that it's underfed because it's not in the ocean and instead in a river somewhere. You have no idea how it got there, but it might be a little malnourished.
I'm gonna feed it like a berry or something.
It is not interested in your berry, and it instead just tries to suction onto your hand again. Do you take your glove off and let it happen?
Is it gonna suck my blood?
You don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna try it, yeah.
You can feel it kind of stick into your hand and kind of drain nutrients from you. It takes like 2 points of HP from you, and it then just detaches and it starts swimming around a bit more lividly.
Is there like a wound where it was leached on? Or no?
Your hand is a bit clammy, and where it did that, but otherwise no.
Interesting. That ends Wesley's preparation.
Okay. Who wants to go next for the prep?
Griffin will be in his room and have Ezio teach all of us to, I guess, basically like meditate to prepare ourselves, to prepare our mind and stuff with like the upcoming fight, so we're not like going into it like crazy or like distressed or anything.
Okay, you say that. Are you trying to teach the rest of your team workup?
I wasn't, but sure.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do TM moves, of just like other Pokemon see your Pokemon doing it, and so they teach it, since we don't have the CDs that contain the moves in this time. Do you want to teach it to both of your Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay. Pick a move to remove, and just send me the character sheets later so that you do that. And since it's a TM, it just happens. You don't have to work at it like a Flame Charge or stuff like that. How are you feeling about this whole thing?
Ready to take him down and take his guitar.
Yeah, focus on the guitar. Okay. Arcetarius, Calypso, who wants to go next for their prep?
I'm gonna make sure that Falchion knows Slash before we go into this.
Are you just having it slash the air?
Yeah, basically.
Roll me a nature check to see how well that goes.
That is a 16.
Falchion looks definitely more confident, but it does not have it down packed yet.
Alrighty.
You doing anything with the between nicknames Burmy?
You know what? I'm gonna have it work on Protect.
Okay, that works pretty well.
Sort of see if I can get that to
be a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say that that's the training that you're doing in such a closed space. You're having Falchion try to stab Burmy, and Burmy's using Protect on itself. Roll a nature check for Burmy.
Oof, that's a 7.
Burmy is not really getting it. Burmy just looks a little bit annoyed each time a slash connects, but it's better practice for Falchion. But Burmy doesn't look discouraged at all. In fact, it just looks pissed.
Don't worry, bud. You're making good progress. You'll notice it. I'm proud of both of you.
Okay, Calypso, you're up. How are you preparing for this, and how are you feeling about everything?
Calypso's probably a little bit worried, she hasn't really had anything of this caliber before, and she's usually, a little more focused on traveling and, performing, and battling isn't really what she does that much. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't have much in mind for her being prepared. Maybe just giving her Pokemon like a pep talk. Giving Dandelion and Quicksand a pep talk about, hey, we got this big battle tomorrow. I believe in us, we can do it. It might be a hard one, but I know you guys can give it your all, and working together, we can pull through and win. Stuff like that.
Okay, roll me a... Let's go with what you're good at. Roll me a performance check.
22.
Okay, your talk goes over really well, and each of your Pokemon has a D10 of inspiration. But with that, I think we'll leave it there.